the star of tonight's show takes a backseat ride. Welcome to Urban Legends. In the state of New Hampshire, a college student named Laura was on her way to watch her new boyfriend, Darren Meeks, play football. Football was a huge deal in the area, and Darren was now the quarterback. A lot rested on his shoulders, and Laura was happy to give her support. Laura saw Darren briefly after the game, then he went on to celebrate his team's win. She had to drive all the way to Vermont to see her parents, as they had invited her over for the weekend. Sadly, Laura saw less and less of her mom and dad as time passed, but she still felt very close to them despite that. Laura found some comfort in the journey. She had been overly busy lately, and she felt herself unwinding as the country roads were quiet and it was getting late. Her gas was running low, however, and she needed to fill up soon. Laura was only 30 or 40 miles away from her parents' house when something caught her eye, and she had to stop the car. There was a baby stroller on the side of the road. It looked old-fashioned and worn. Laura got out of the car to see if there was a child inside. Although she felt uneasy doing so, she had to check. What she saw in the stroller, however, was not what she expected. Laura ran back to the car and took off, away from the area. She wondered who in their right mind would leave a doll and a baby stroller by the side of the road. There was a sign that said a gas station was nearby, which was good because she was nearly empty. Laura managed to get there before running out of gas. She didn't want to get out the car, so she honked her horn instead. The office door opened and a man came out to fill up her tank. Laura instantly felt wary of the attendant, as he acted in a strange manner, but she did her best to be polite. Laura handed the man her card and he took it into the office. He was in there for a few minutes before coming out again. When he returned to the car, he told Laura that the card had been declined and the credit card company were on the landline phone. She had used that card with no problems to buy a soda at the game only a few hours before, and she did not trust the attendant. He was very insistent and tried to open the driver door, causing Laura to start the engine. She accelerated away from the gas station, not worried about her bank card anymore. Laura just wanted to get away and find somewhere safe. But in a matter of minutes, she saw a car was following her and flashing its lights. It was right behind her, and every few seconds Laura was almost blinded by the bright beams. Luckily, there was a town coming up, and even though it was late, there was the hope of people and safety. Her car was rammed a few times, but Laura kept focused. As she crossed into the town, she saw flashing lights of a different kind. It was the police, and Laura came to a stop, as did the car that had been following her. Laura heard something behind her. It sounded like breathing. The man who had been following her exited his vehicle and shouted at Laura to get out her car because there was someone in the back seat. She quickly undid her seatbelt and stepped into the road, just in time to see a figure crouched down with a large kitchen knife in the back of her car. The man who had been flashing her with his high beams was the gas station attendant. He explained that he had seen the figure in the back seat when he was filling up the gas and tried to get Laura out the car to safety, so when she drove off, he went after her. The figure was arrested and found to be Thomas Chambers, who was wanted by the authorities and had left a long bloody trail of murders from Salt Lake City. Each victim, usually female, had been found with their throats sliced. Laura realized how lucky she was, and that he must have gotten in the car when she stopped to see the baby stroller. The gas station attendant saved her life, and they are still friends to this day. The Backseat Killer is one of the most famous urban legends, with many variations. The lady does not always stop to get out the car when she sees something on the road, but she always mistrusts the gas station attendant, who spots the backseat killer, emphasizing that looks can be deceiving. Sometimes the lady is murdered and the killer is an escaped patient from an asylum. Occasionally the tale is known simply as high beams. A version of this story did happen in real life, however. In 1964, a convict escaped and traveled to upstate New York. There, he sneaked into the back seat of a car at a gas station. The owner of the car, who was an off-duty police officer, shot the convict dead. That concludes tonight's story. I'll see you next time for more urban legends.